Play came to play. Good morning, everybody. Happy TGIF and welcome into Undisputed. I'm Jen Hale here with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp. How we doing today, guys?
Good morning. I called it.
You called it?
I called the game last night.
You picked Dallas in 7.
Did I call the game last night?
About? You know what? You owe an apology to Larry Bird, your favorite player growing up. You should right now on national television say, Larry, I'm sorry.
No.
Baby Bird?
Baby Bird.
Are you kidding
23.
me? Baby Bird?
The man 23, Skip.
It was more like Baby Dodo Bird last night. Come on, really?
Okay. You got him, you kick him. Is that what you do, kick a man when he's down?
10 of 28 in a closeout game?
He was bad last night. Skip.
Thank you. Next question.
And he said that. He admitted he was bad last night.
Yes, he did. Doncic, no D in Doncic.
Guys, so much to unpack from this win and then the upcoming finals series. So let's dive in this morning. Steph Curry, that's where we'll start because he was named the first ever most valuable player of the Western Conference Finals following the Warriors clinching that series over the Mavs last night. Now, he will return to the finals. Of course, this time, obviously, without Kevin Durant. That's who helped win their last 2 titles. Steph, by the way, still seeking his first finals MVP. Okay, so Shannon, you've been making the case that if Steph wins a championship and a finals MVP, that it vaults him into the all-time top 10. Tell us why.
Because it's the missing piece from his resume, Skip. It would be such an outstanding resume. 4 titles, 2 MVPs, 2 scoring titles, and now a finals MVP. Skip, I think if he gets that, I don't know how you keep him out of the top 10. And when you look at it, Skip, he'll be one of 6 players that have 2 regular season MVPs, 4 titles, and a finals MVP, joining Jordan, LeBron, Magic, Kareem, and Duncan. And we believe those first 4, Skip, Jordan, LeBron, Magic, and Kareem, are on Mount Rushmore. He would join that group, a very, very elite group, Skip. And I think because he's revolutionized the game, Skip, no one said, you know what, we need a guy that can dunk like Jordan. Now everybody tries to find a shooter. If you can shoot the basketball, you can stay longer in the NBA than you ever could by dunking the basketball. We see 4- and 5-year-old kids, they say, you know what, we're going to try to make SportsCenter. We're going to try to make a highlight show by how, Skip, jack it up 3. They can barely get the ball in the layup line. But somehow they think by throwing the ball with one hand from the 3-point line will make them Steph Curry. He's changed the game and what he's been able to do. And, Skip, I think people are reluctant because, why, Skip? He doesn't have overwhelming athleticism. He can't fly through the air like Jordan. He's not physically imposing like LeBron James, 6'9", 255 pounds. You look at him, he's not 6'9" like Magic. He's not the dominating force that Shaq was. He doesn't have the elegance and grace of levitating like a Kobe. He's like 6'3". I mean, you look at a guy like, well, damn, I really could be Steph Curry. I'm never going to jump like Jordan. I'm never going to be 7'1", 335 and move like Shaq. But I really could be Steph Curry, Skip. I could be 6'3". I could be 6'3", 180 and shoot the ball. So, and not only has he changed the game from a youth level, Skip, everybody in the NBA now, all they do is jack up 3s. Now, we just saw the Heat the other night, Skip missed 38, which won off the playoff record of 39, and they just shoot 3 after 3 after 3 after 3. What did they shoot last night? Dallas, which launched up 42. The Warriors got up 36. That's 78-3. That's where the game is gone because of one guy, the little 6'3" light skin guy that plays in the Bay. So, Skip, somebody's going to have to get bumped. He wins a 4th title. He becomes finals MVP. Skip, it's contingent now. He's going to need to be the finals MVP. He can't just have 4 titles. He's going to need to win finals MVP. And I think he has a very compelling case. I don't know how. Somebody in the top 10 is going to have to go if Steph Curry wins this title and the finals MVP.
Okay. I will give you greatest shooter ever, obviously. I will give you revolutionized the game from the 3-point line, obviously.
Okay.
None of which qualifies him for the top 10, in my view, obviously.
Okay.
Because there's too much missing from this resume to suddenly vault him off this year's finals into the all-time top 10. The problem is that he won his first title because LeBron James no longer had Kevin Love going into the finals and then lost Kyrie Irving in the overtime of game one.
Mm-hmm.
So remember, that was the finals in which only inserting Iguodala into the starting lineup seemed to flip the script and change everything, because Steph and company were down 2-1 at LeBron's house. And I thought LeBron had played the greatest 3 games of his career to get them into that.
First 3 games.
Yes, to get them there. But the point was, from that point forward, it was Iguodala on offense and especially defense who changed everything and won the Finals MVP. So it's not like you can give Steph Curry all-time top 10 credit for that Finals, because you disqualify it. You put an asterisk beside it because LeBron's playing by himself, basically, without his second and third best players on his team, right?
Right.
Okay. And then he obviously won his next 2 rings courtesy of Kevin Durant, who was the Finals MVP in both of those back-to-back finals, because of the games that Kevin played in LeBron's house in Game 3s,
right.
Pivotal Game 3s.
Yes.
So the point is, now we've got 3 rings with qualifications, huge qualifications, if not asterisks on them, that you can't give Steph full credit for. So now we're back to this. This is my issue. This is my biggest issue on this show that I'm about to address head on. We have seen 2 superstar meltdowns in the finals, and I ranked them 1 and 2. And the first one was your man, LeBron James. And it was his first go-around with the Miami Heat versus the Dallas Mavericks in 2011. I'd never seen anything like it before. Games 4, 5, and 6. Chosen one became frozen one. He just completely, epically melted down, and they blew a 2-1 lead, and it's on his resume. And he's done all kinds of great things, but when we start talking about LeBron versus Jordan and the GOAT debate, it's hard for me to get past what happened in 2011, because that never happened to Michael Jordan. And I don't want to do the whole Jordan debate right now, because this is about Steph Curry.
Okay.
But I'm just framing it with, that was the worst one. But now we're talking about the second worst one that I ever witnessed. This is my point of view from this side of the table, was 2016, and LeBron benefited hugely from that, because LeBron is down 3-1, and Steph Curry comes up even smaller than he is at 6'3". He actually plays smaller than 6'3" to start with. Like you say, in the normal world, 6'3" is tall, because you're a big man and you're 6'2". Okay, so he's an inch taller than you are, quote unquote, but he is an inch taller. But he plays even smaller than 6'3" in the perspective in relation to everybody else on the basketball court. Well, now he played real small, because all of a sudden in those games, his threes that revolutionized the world are starting to draw a lot more iron than nylon, because he is starting to miss threes like crazy. And I'm going to remind everybody what he did just quickly. I'm just going to hit the lowlights of games 4, 5, and 6. In those 3 games, he shot 37% from the floor, which is just horrendously bad. A career 45% three-point shooter, shot only 36% from 3. He had 7 assists in those 3 games to 12 turnovers, and was an overall -20 in plus-minus. In the fourth quarters of those 3 games, he shot 30% from the floor and 25% from 3, 3 of 12. All 3 winnable games, 2 of the 3 in Steph's house, obviously then in Oakland. Not one time in those fourth quarters did he ever get to the free throw line, so he was 0 for 0. And in Game 7, this is it. In your house, you're a 2-time back-to-back MVP. You were the first ever unanimous MVP. And what happens in Game 7 at Oracle Arena? You do score 17 points, but it took 19 shots. You were 6 of 19. You were 4 of 14 from 3, numbers reminiscent of last night. You made 1 free throw and 1 attempt. You had 4 turnovers. And in the fourth quarter of that game, with the game teetering back and forth, you go 1 of 6, 1 of 5 from 3, and you shoot no free throws in the fourth quarter. And you well remember that game, because it was a great game for you. It's one of the greatest games in your pantheon of covering sports, because at the 6:57 mark of that game, Steph made his only shot of the fourth quarter. He made a 3 that actually tied the score at 83 all.
Right.
And then down the stretch of that game, he takes shots at 5:38, 4:06, 1:14, and 31 seconds left. 3 of them 3-point shots to either go ahead or tie the game. They're just crucial shots, and he misses all 4 of those. So he doesn't score a point after the 6:57 mark. We had the great chase down block. We had the Kyrie shot. We had a lot of great things happening in a seesaw game in which Steph was not to be found. He completely disappeared down the stretch. Well, that's a meltdown to me over 3 games, 2 of those at home. And it disqualifies him, in my view, from being a top 10 player.
But Skip, when you look at it, and you mentioned about games 4, 5, and 6, you do realize in game 5 he had 25 points, and it took Kyrie and LeBron, the only 2 teammates ever, to score 40-plus in an NBA Finals game. He did have 30 in game 6, and it took LeBron James to give you another Herculean effort. But
but the shooting percentages are awful. He's shooting way